seconds remaining.
10 seconds remaining. Welcome back, everybody. We've got Game 3 here between IG and EHOME in our best of 5 grand final. So Game 3, not the decider. We've had a lot of long series so far. Most of our best of 3s going the distance. I'm Gods. I'm joined by a very special guest joining me here at the Beyond the Summit studio. None other than Rascal, my pet cat. Well, LD's pet cat. Oh, and also Winter. He's less important, though. How's it going, Winter? Winter's ditched me.
5 seconds remaining.
The cat's not pleased. I woke it up. Hello, Winter.
Oh, I haven't ditched you, my friend.
I gave you the worst introduction ever, so you probably dealt with it properly. Let's get into the draft. Where is the draft? Here we go. All right. We've got IG versus EHOME, Game 3. It's tied 1 game apiece. What do you make of where things stand in this series? Do you feel like either team has an edge overall, or is it pretty even?
Pretty even. It really depends on the strategy, you know. Who has the better strategy and execution. I believe execution is less important because both our teams have shown that they can actually execute whatever they have. It's just about getting the right strategy for the right game, you know, against the right lineup to make it work. They both showed that they can actually execute their jobs well if they are actually given a chance. So it's gonna be just battling out on predicting what hero the opponent wants and what they are gonna get in return.
Well, did not see this one coming. Leshrac has been left through. IG really wanted to ban out Tusk, but it comes as a result of Gyro also being in the pool.
They banned out Rubik as well, which was like one of the key heroes that EHOME have been picking a lot, and last game IG picked it up for themselves, but it's kind of weird though because you rarely see a first pick Rubik, and if you really wanted to take out Rubik, you could have just picked it because your second pick you can pick a core and Rubik itself, like what they did in the last game.
And it works really well with the Gyrocopter, so...
This is just a classic opening Lesh, then you see Gyro and Earthshaker and you just go Clock. Clock's really good against both of them.
Brood is banned though. No Brood today.
No Brood ever, you know.
It's, you know, EHOME, they like fool us once, it's not happening again. The best of 3 that IG beat EHOME, it was banned out, I think, in all 3 games, and I think we're going back to that scenario now that they've let it through once. It won't be let through again, but...
A handy reminder of what he can do with Brood.
Yeah, it's never direct impact on the game, but he just changes the way the overall game... It's kind of Techies-like in that it affects how you lane things, what you have to pick. It changes so much of the overall game plan for you. Very
also
disruptive hero.
Also like Huskar, you know. When you're playing against Huskar, you need to, I need to build this item, we need to pick this hero to counter Huskar.
Yes. These heroes that single-handedly change how the entire strategy is played from either team. It's something. Not many heroes fit that category, but Brood, like you say, one of them with Huskar as well as the Techies. But for now, we'll see what the teams go for in their second stage of picks, as the opening one so far fairly standard. IG get the shaker that they're normally confident
I actually think
on.
Dazzle will be hotly contested now. Both of the teams need defensive support to protect against what the opponent has.
Yeah.
Like whenever you pick, okay, that's it, that's about it, that's gone.
Yep.
Because I'm thinking like
New discussion, Winter. What's next?
You're gonna have the Clock hook in, so IG would want to have a Dazzle, but at the same time, Dazzle could be really useful to protect the Lash. But then again, because IG is actually opening up the draft here, they're gonna pick a hero first. So it's EHOME just didn't want IG to have the hero. I think Dazzle would have been perfect for them.
Well, the one here that EHOME also like to really run is the Silencer as well. We could see the LANM Silencer make an appearance here.
Oh, hook shot into silence.
IG? They're going to be the Wisp takers, so not looking to let EHOME get it and maybe deciding they can play around it themselves. Doesn't necessarily mean they'll go into a Tiny. It works well with Gyrocopter. And Super, very well known to play this hero, so... Second game in a row, we see a kind of block pick come out on the IO.
Yeah, and it also tells us that the Earthshaker would more or less be off lane when they pick the IO here with this setup.
You say that, but last time they did this, it was the Earthshaker support.
Oh yeah, the game we casted together.
Yeah.
I think that they lost that game, did they? Or I'm not sure. But
Ooh.
Shaker plus IO is... Oh, that game I remember why. Because it was with Queen of Pain. They had safe lane Queen of Pain. And they did
Yes.
IO
They
plus
did lose that
Bristleback.
game, didn't they?
Yeah, IO plus Bristleback off lane. No, they won the game at the end. They started out, or maybe they lost. It was against. No, they won that game. It was against EHOME. EHOME picked first. It was the first game of the winners bracket final. They picked Tusk that game. First pick Tusk, and it was
That's
a
right.
Tusk versus Queen of Pain.
Yeah. It started off really well for eHome, but then
They
IG
still
came back.
lost. IG had this three core lineup that game. The Queen of Pain, the Bristle, and Ferrari was playing SF. Yeah.
All right, well, we'll see what
Yeah,
eHome
true.
look to reply with.
We actually might see that again from IG. IG is one of the few teams that would still run a triple core draft, with no tempo controller. They just want to win all their lanes with the whiz.
I was just about to say, eHome probably looking for a support that can deal with those relocate ganks, or at least the Wisp in general, which is Disruptor as well as maybe like a Witch Doctor with the cast, but Disruptor
Sand
going to
King.
be the one they go for. Yeah, Sand King not bad as well. So
You just don't see Sand King on support too much anymore. Off lane, maybe you can see it more often than support nowadays.
10 seconds remaining.
well, IG now, if they want the Tiny, it's
5
probably picked up
seconds
here, but
remaining.
it doesn't really feel like they need the Tiny. As you mentioned, like the Bristleback type hero for
Reserve
Luo,
time.
for the off lane.
Even Ember maybe could work for them. I'm not sure though, but these are all the heroes that pair well with IO. If you look at dealing with Lash, obviously Tiny is the best because you want to have a core that can actually nuke him down. But they're actually going to go back to the same thing that they did in the winners bracket first game, which is the Bristol plus Gyro plus maybe another core. They might actually go back for the same strategy because they actually since they revealed the Bristol, it's more or less likely that the Shaker would be the support. It's kind of hard to
10 seconds
say
remaining.
so, but I think it's a higher chance that they will actually do Bristol off lane than
5
Shaker just as a
seconds
support.
remaining.
Well, Ancient Apparition picked up as an answer for the IO heals and just giving them some extra damage amplification for the Leshrac nukes as well if you look at Ice Vortex, but most importantly this hero being picked up for the Ice Blast.
Let's see what is their mid hero here against the Leshrac.
There's an Undying ban. There may be, at least from the eHome side, they were thinking, oh, they could just do an IO Bristle mid, put like 430 on Bristle.
Oh yeah, that's also possible. They can put IO Bristol mid since not many heroes can actually stand against
10
Lesh in middle
seconds
lane.
remaining.
Actually, mostly none. Or every hero struggles a lot.
5
It's either you
seconds
just break
remaining.
even or you lose the lane against a Lesh. I could see that happening. You do IO Bristol mid,
Reserve
Shaker,
time.
Gyro safe lane, or Shaker off lane, then Gyro plus another support.
We'll see. They really don't put Luo on the Shaker very often. It's almost always Chuan.
Yeah, I know. I understand. So probably it's more likely Shaker support.
Bring
and
back the
another-
Kunkka, the offlane Kunkka.
That actually might be a good idea though.
Gives
See,
them
because
some strong team fight.
yeah, it's gonna negate a lot of the damage that Lash is gonna be doing in teamfight, and Kunkka plus Gyro means your teamfight is very strong.
But they go for Storm. So could be Storm mid against Leshrac, I guess, most likely here.
It's quite a okay matchup. Storm gets pressured early, but as soon as you get level 6, Storm can kill the Lash very easy. If you go to the lane and you get level 6 and you're full mana, you can kill the Lash out if you don't get hit by his stun from full HP.
Yep.
So Storm is sort of a good hero to kill the Lash in the lane.
It's not going
Like
to be a
1-1.
Lesh mid though, Winter. They last picked Dragonite, so they get an instant stun to deal with the Storm Spirit, something they were kind of lacking.
Again, every game we see when you see Storm, the opponent replies with a Dragonite. Regardless of who's picking the Storm, the other side will pick Dragonite.
Well, that gives Storm a much easier lane for one thing, but we'll see how eHome
Yeah,
look to
and
play the
we
early
can
game.
actually see the IO be like sort of a fountain, a mini fountain at the start of the game. He's gonna be moving top, controlling rune, then maybe
10
come to mid,
seconds
give him some
remaining.
regen, and go back top. Maybe
Oh, yeah.
stack the ancients along the way for the
5
Bristol. So he's
seconds
gonna be
remaining.
doing a lot of moving around this game because it's very useful to move around and help a hero like Storm especially.
I like the draft that we're seeing from IG here, but eHome have their options as well.
me
We've
too.
seen how good they are in the mid game with their team
Prepare for
fights and just
battle.
taking over the control of the
Yeah,
game.
they have very scary team fight this game. Disruptor A and hook shot. Basically, they hook in and they're gonna kill one guy instantly.
Okay, well, we'll introduce our two teams here in Game 3 of this best of 5 series with things tied up 1 game apiece. IG going to go for an IO Bristleback. Luo on the Bristleback. Super playing the IO there for now. Headed to the off lane. 430 going to be going mid on Storm Spirit. Not going to catch out this early ward being planted on his high ground. It'll be Chuan playing the support roaming Earthshaker, and that leaves Rabbit on Gyrocopter for the safe lane. Winter, who's playing what on the Dire?
And on the Dire side, like you mentioned, EHOME 11 playing the Clockwork, Old Chicken on the Dragonite, CTY on the Storm, Lamb on the Ancient Apparition, and Kaka playing the Disruptor.
Okay. What is going on here with 11? He's maybe trapped down in a bad spot. Potential fissure block coming through. You may not see a fissure, but it's there. There we go. It shows up a bit later. Rabbit looking to chase him down. The Cogs push. Gonna maybe cause some problems here. Storm's rotated in as well. 11 in trouble. The tether's there, and now this is looking like a first blood. He needs another Cogs, but it's not up for 5 seconds. Uh-oh. 1 or 2 more right clicks. Cogs, 2 seconds. 1. It's not going to be up soon enough. Perfect world. Please. Not so perfect. We're going to quickly reconnect before too much of this game goes down. As first blood goes the way of IG early on.
Mine is actually fine though.
That's good to know. That means if I reconnect it may work better. For now
Yeah,
we can
sometimes it's like that. Sometimes it's just like that, perfect world. So they're actually starting with the IO mid to help the Storm first. The Bristol will actually be stacking the Ancients himself. They'll leave the Gyro to 1v1 the Clockwork, and Shaker will just be taking the offlane. I'm not sure. Maybe he's going back to regen first and see where he goes.
He's got clarities coming out, so I don't think he wants to go back to Fountain per se, but this fissure block at the offlane isn't going to do too much because the pull camp's already being used by EHOME. They're going to deny a lot of experience up here, and this offlane is just a dead zone. You can't actually go there. There is nothing to be gained from the Radiant side, it feels like. No experience to be had. At least not right now.
And even with the Lash Rock on the lane, it makes this lane so difficult for the Bristleback, you know. So the Wisp is actually choosing to just focus on probably stacking and helping the other lanes. I think even with the Wisp, with the Bristleback, this lane is really difficult for them because it's a Lash as their core.
And Bristle just tried to leech some experience from the neutral camp, but there wasn't any XP to be leeched as the Dark Troll camp didn't even end up going down, so we'll see where Bristle looks to head. It's going to be right back to the Ancient, so this is his catch-up. The Ancient stack is going to be so important for him. He's got to get at least level 3 and probably even level 4 or 5 before he can really farm it.
We saw that from IG the other day.
Yeah,
it was
level 3.
level 4 or maybe level 3.
I think it was level 3 and then he got level 4 from it, and then he got his next point in the Bristleback during, like, by killing a few of the small ones.
It was with the Wisp. It took him quite a while, but at least he was able to do it with the Wisp.
Chuan caught out in the jungle here by 11, who's got a battery assault level 2, but IO swoops in to save the day, and Chuan will return the favor with a fissure. A lot of damage being done. He's got boots. Gonna force the Gyro to rotate as well. This is some serious pressure coming out from the Clockwork. He'll go for the Cogs push. He may look to go back in on these supports. Nobody's looking to run past him. Being body blocked. The bounce is saying, you shall not pass, and 11.
Space created.
Well, Gyro stopped chasing. He goes back to the lane. He said, I've missed enough farm as it is. Tries to heal himself back up. Can he run past them? They're body blocking him once more. He's got another Cogs. Goes for the push. He's got nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. 4 HP. He's going to just suicide the tower, it looks like.
Yeah, well played. He didn't actually give away experience because he did that. That was really good.
They're still both level 1, actually.
That was actually really good for the Clockwork.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, I mean, when he comes back, it's at his tower. He's got guaranteed experience here. He misses a few creeps, but he'll be here for at least some of it, and it's going to be pushing out.
That was really good play in the end, because the
Value.
fissure actually blocked. Fissure on the wrong side allowed that situation to become such a good situation for the Clockwork.
And TP in mid and 430 being healed back up. His bottle coming out on the courier, but yeah, it's CTY in the safe lane, free farming away.
That was just a really good example of making the best out of a bad situation.
I mean, it wasn't even a bad situation in the end. It was like almost a win in some ways, it feels like, for EHOME, you could argue, but We'll see 11 now running at the IO, but should see a tether back to safety if he needs it. 11 just going for the rune here, which he will get. Denies that from Super, which is something pretty handy and important to do against an IO. Top rune did go the way of Storm, who bottled up an invis.
And you know, one thing interesting is the Dragon Knight actually started out with Quelling Blade against the Storm.
Something you'd recommend, or just
Oh, don't see too often. I think it's a good idea. Helps him with the last hit against Storm.
Another battery assault from 11 will force out a tether. He's just constantly hounding this IO. We'll see a Fissure come in mid. They're looking for old chicken here, but with Lua rotating in, this may just be enough. They then glimpse back the Storm. No Fissure for some Tykes. He's not going to have it anytime soon whatsoever. Doesn't have the mana for it. And 430 trapped inside the cogs. 11, he's going to find himself with a kill because CTY's TP'd in. There's going to be a brief fire to finish it off. Nice little rotation. CTY unexpectedly shows up mid lane, and Kaka doesn't quite latch on with the kinetic field. That was quite the rotation mid. 5 EHOME heroes at mid. And, well, they find a kill in the Storm, so worth it in the end. It was 4 heroes there for IG, so it's not like IG had like a 2v5. It was a 4v5 in the mid lane.
Yeah, the clock is definitely making a lot happen on the map, even without his ulti.
He's got... oh, no, that's it. Click the gyro. That's it. He's got 29 CS. What the hell's going on here? No, he's got 12 CS. That's more expected, but still doing
just
fantastic.
very good offlane play overall. Like, he was just basically helping his team so much.
Definitely a player, like, you hadn't really heard of him before EHOME picked him up, but he is really impressed in the offlane for me.
His decision making overall, I think, is really, really good. When to rotate and what to do at what point. He might not be like famous, but his decision making is really good, I think, so far.
We'll see what comes next from him. Right now, 6-minute approaches and runes to be had for both teams. Looks like there was a sentry ward to block off the Ancients, but it's already been stacked up.
Bottom lane, Storm might actually want to try and kill the Clockwork solo.
No, he's going to go for it. 11 gets jumped on. There's one remnant, another ball forward, gets inside the cogs. 11 misses the cogs push, which he really needed there. Nice bit of play from 430.
Yeah, top lane, there comes the Gyro.
Oh, call down Fissure. CTY, no escape for you. Smart rotation against Aleshrak, and IG set themselves up for some early game success here with big play coming out from Chuan. So as much damage as 11's done, he's actually 0-3. I can't really like say he's had a bad game or anything, but he has been a bit of a source of money for the IG side, so far at least. EHOME, much more mid-game oriented. They're not meant to dominate the lanes. That's kind of part of, especially the DK pick that we're seeing. But DK will be able to pressure towers now. Level 7, and with the Elder Dragon form up, we'll get this mid-tier 1 tower down to about a 3rd HP.
Lamb is gonna get chased down here by the Gyro.
Yep. One Vortex. TP1, TP2. That'll keep him alive. Also unsure maybe.
In again.
Yeah. Probably wasn't sure what level that hookshot was, so played it safe. Rabbit gets glimpsed back. That's going to cancel his TP. Oh, the gyro kill of all heroes. DK picks it up, and also Aya went down in the low ground. Clockwork caught up with the Tranquil Boots, and they kill off both. Great TP rotation, and Leshrak, meanwhile, farming the enemy Radiant jungle. A bit of an interesting place for him to be, but EHOME bounced back.
Yeah, the IO didn't have boots, yeah. That was easy for the Clock to actually chase up and at least secure a kill for his team. Otherwise, he would have wasted his efforts, to TP in. And he got nothing.
And they mess up the pull here on the Ancients a little bit. Oh, CTY has stolen this. He's going to die. It's for CTY, it's an economic victory, but 430 still gets at least a kill out of it, so it's kind of a 50-50 trade maybe.
Was it a 3 chem stack?
It was at least 2, I want to say 3.
Because the Storm got like, what, 500 gold for the kill. It was like 2 stacks for Storm, the gold that he got. It's more like denying the experience as well for the
well, he
Storm
gets experience from a kill, which is, I guess, comparable.
So it's more or less even though.
Yeah, I think I would say it's even with the gold and XP almost. But see mid lane, old chicken getting aggressive. He hasn't got back up just yet. It's on its way. in the form of a smoke from CTY, as well as Kaka.
Bottom lane, Clock is actually waiting for his team to come in with the smoke. He has a double damage rune, so really wants to make
Dire's
use of that.
bottom tower
And he's
is
actually
under
baiting, you
attack.
know. He ran back. He ran back like he had no support.
They know where they are. The smoke did pop, and CTY. Oh, he's going to get the glimpse. There's going to be a stun waiting for Rabbit. CTY could be in some trouble to the cooldown rocket barrage. He barely gets out of the second blast. That would have finished him off. They get the hook shot now as well. 11 got level 6 from that kill. He'll bring Chuan down with him. He'll get out of there. 430 goes balling in. Looking for the kill on 11. Should be able to get it, but there's one charges he's going to deal with. Not going to be an issue. Just the one kill, though. Great little bit of play there coming out from EHOME. Nice smoke gank, good glimpse. Top lane now. Luo's chasing in deep. He really wants land, but he's not going to get him. He's being outran and... Oh, no!
No!
Why did you turn?
Is under attack.
Oh, he was fine. DK not catching up right now. Has a stun, but can't get in range. And the IO shows up.
Got greedy. Wanted to poke him one time.
Ooh. If he had a Vortex, it may be worth turning around for a Vortex, but he went for an attack. Uncharacteristic mistake coming out from Lan
Yeah.
Mid lane, old chicken. Fissure, call down rocket barrage. 11 with the cogs. It's a bit futile in the end.
Got too cocky with the A there. But they're gonna still lose the DK middle. The same combination we see before. Fissure and the call down.
Time and time
easy
again.
kill for them. Yeah, they're just utilizing the gyro very well in the early phase. Get as much kills as you can because gyro early game is all about the rocket barrage and his
Dire's
call
middle
down.
tower is under attack.
You want to
Nice
make use of the
blast.
spells to get, yeah, they want to make use of the spells to get as much kill as possible. And like you mentioned, AA is level 6. He shot the ice blast somewhere. Not sure
Yeah,
where.
I didn't see that one either, but he did put on
No one was
cooldown.
dying though. No one's dying.
Just scare tactics. Hey guys, look what I've got. It's a big flying ball of ice that can catch you when you're on the map. And that's a tool that I imagine we'll see EHOME look to use in some of their ganking
they
efforts.
can actually just go for a kill soon with the clock because there's ice blast up of CD again. They can just easily kill anyone with hook shot plus ice blast if they find any lone targets. But most of them would probably be together right now because IG is just looking to group up and just push with the IO. This is the similar thing. Remember the first game the other day? They were losing at the start, then they suddenly group up with this lineup, then they keep taking towers. The only difference is they have a Storm instead of a SF this game, so they do not have that early mech.
They're also not really
yet.
losing, I would say, right now.
Yeah,
they're
not losing.
this feels like a pretty even early game. Both teams with, like, maybe EHOME with a little better control. They've got some nice vision up
Radiant's
in the
bottom
enemy
tower
jungle,
is
and
under
IG
attack.
yet to get those deep wards down, which is partly why they wanted to go for this smoke gank, to
Radiant
put down a ward in the
structures
enemy
are
jungle
fortified.
and try and get some control of their own. But no kills go their way. It's EHOME grouped up at bottom with Old Chicken in the dragon form, poking away at the tower, looking to
Radiant's
get
bottom
another
tower
tier
is under
1
attack.
for
And
EHOME.
this ward again from EHOME is doing a lot of vision. They placed this ward twice this game at the start of the game, and after it expired, they placed the same ward again here at the ancient area. It's giving them a lot of vision. And it's not easy to deward as well, yeah. So it's a really good spot. You learn something new every day.
Top
Yeah,
tower
it's
is
the
under
spot that
attack.
doesn't actually scout out the rune, right? But it's less likely to get dewarded by the common sentry that's like in
Yeah,
the
the-
river.
Yeah, the middle part where you place.
Yeah, you put it there so you can scout out both the high ground as on
Dire's
both
top
as
tower
on both
is
sides
under
of the river.
attack.
But that's where you mix up that
Dire's
ward from time to
structures
time.
are fortified.
So you give up the rune vision, but you gain that likeliness that it won't be dewarded.
And right now CTY,
Dire's
Yeah,
Oh, they
hunting him.
deward as well.
has
That's the one ward that IG got down with that smoke gank, and it
Radiant's
gets
bottom
immediately
tower
taken
is
out.
under attack.
Chuan is TP'd in bottom. Ice Blast is there. They're going in for this kill. The Ice Blast will not hit with the blast damage, but still gets the damage effect, and Rabbit sitting inside of a Thunderdome will be taken out.
Blinks.
Oh, old chicken hiding in the trees. Oh, yeah, needs to blink out. Not going to find it right away. Gets a breathe fire off. They kill the IO as well. Looking for more. They get the stun on Luo. He turns around, gets him from the front. Here's CTY, gets fissured up. That could be his saving grace. Ice Vortex is there. Lanham, he's not going to survive another Quill Spray, or is he? 39 HP. He survives. Blink in, breathe fire. Old chicken helps a buddy out. And with that, EHOME are the one to, as usual, just take control of these mid-game team fights.
Man, this is a true buddy, man. Oh chicken. bailing his captain out of trouble.
Oh, you know,
But
Chicken's been around.
The glimpse,
he knows what to
the
do.
glimpse was just key, you know. Ferrari had a double damage when he TP'd in.
Oh, and he got glimpsed back top, yeah.
Yeah, that was like, that's why IG lost that fight so badly because they were committing so hard because Ferrari had double damage and he was coming in. And everyone was like just running in and he got glimpsed back. He TP'd like behind as well, you know. He didn't like just TP in and just ran in. He came quite late, but they still got the glimpse to... If they got the glimpse, like let's say behind to the tower, they glimpsed him back behind, IG might have still be able to take their fight, but because the glimpse went... The glimpse and moved him towards the top lane, so IG immediately couldn't take the team fight at all.
And the EHOME support cast has been really spot on throughout this tournament. Lanham as well as Kaka have made a lot of plays and important moves for their teams.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
For
attack.
now, they're going to look to secure CTY's farm at top. They're both sitting behind him.
Middle tower is under
CTY looking to
attack.
finish the Bloodstone. Getting close, about 300 or 400 gold short now, so we'll be a decent timing on the Bloodstone.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
I mean, not exactly the type of timing we expect from a safe lane Lash, but it's still understandable because he had 2 deaths, and the blink as well from the DK setting up the gyro kill at bottom. Didn't really talk too much about that.
No. Well, now we're going to see EHOME go on the offensive. They smoke up. They know they took out the Radiant Ward in their jungle, and they're assuming it was the only one, which is a correct assumption. And looking to
and
head
they
towards
are
the mid lane.
probably gonna make another vision around Ancient's area. Do they have wards on Lamb? Yeah, gonna make another ward here.
Oh, he gets it down. Oh, Lewis scouts it though. In the perfect spot. That was a bit unlucky for Lanham.
They still might get this kill, yeah, on the Storm here.
Yeah,
might
they
actually
think they're around
get-
mid. Storm with an Ice Blast. That's not going to hit. They get the DK stun. Is there a follow-up disable? There's a ball lightning.
Glimpse! Oh.
No vision.
Damn. He probably should have glimpsed a bit earlier, you know. You just get the like 1 centimeter glimpse, the short glimpse, so your
Kinetic
connecting
field.
field
Yeah,
can
he needed the
actually,
full combo. Thunder-
probably saved. He saved the. He was trying to glimpse. I saw him, but he was already too late.
That was almost the kill.
Well, at least for now, they still farming quite well on all their cores. They are gonna be building a BKB on the DK. I think he needs it very desperately this game as well. So much lockdown in team fights for him, and a lot of spell damage from the gyro and the shaker.
Radiant's top
So for him
tower is
to
under
stay up
attack.
front and keep tanking, he needs to get BKB this game.
Ball in
Mid
mid.
lane.
CTY has his Bloodstone complete. I believe he gets caught up by the Ice Blast. 430 gets back to the high ground. Meanwhile, mid 11's gone in. He's hooked himself into a rocket barrage. That's not a good place to be, and it's a second kill going IG's way. It's gonna be bad. Here we go. Echo Slam on the old chicken as he blinked in forward. He's got a haste rune, luckily. This will help him maneuver around the goo. Not worth throwing out. They glimpse back Rabbit, who's not going to BKB just yet, so they're going to salvage this one. It looks like if they can kill off Rabbit, just barely. They do bring him down. Luo has got to be careful. The backup he's got is somewhat minimal with Storm low on mana.
Yeah, and
For
they
two
didn't.
trade.
They could have killed the Storm. I think they could have killed the Storm. He didn't get the. He wasn't successful in getting the Cogs pushed back. Otherwise, the Storm. I think the Storm would have died there. He was really close to shattering from the Ice Blast. They needed like one little small damage more, or even half a second more disable, so someone could actually get some more damage into
Yeah.
the Storm.
Well, they do get the Leshrac Bloodstone up. Didn't have it for that fight, which is probably for the better, because it means he doesn't lose charges.
Yeah, the worst thing to happen is just dying after you just purchase the Bloodstone.
Yeah. Well, EHOME, this is where they'd love to win a fight and start racking up a few more charges for Mr. CTY. They've got Clockwork already headed
you
down
know-
here to join up with him.
You know what, this game, I feel like probably Shaker should prioritize getting 4 stuff over the dagger.
Against the
Clock.
Clockwork and...
Yeah, because he's gonna need to help the Gyro or the Bristleback, because Whis can only help one guy.
Yeah. And
So-
someone's being glimpsed back in constantly, so having the 4 stuff can
Yeah,
potentially
you
look to
you
make
can still
plays.
have a small window of opportunity to force your team out of the kinetic field. It's like what, half a second for it to. No, actually 1 second for it to actually complete casting, so you can't actually force stuff out of the field. So if you actually get it right, there's still a good amount of time to actually get the force stuff.
In his Dragonite, Luo is close to his tier 2 tower. Ultra went blinking forward, but doesn't find him. The other item which I feel would be great on the IG side, but they don't really have a good hero to pick it up anytime soon, is Glimmer Cape, because so much of this dire damage is magic. Right now, it's entirely magic damage. Glimmer Cape is fantastic this game.
The Wiz is probably going to be the guy picking it up.
Yeah, he's got to farm it though.
I don't think anyone else would want to pick it up. And with Shaker going for this Soaring Tranquils build, it's difficult for him to sustain the mana pool if he's going for Glimmer Cape. I think Force Up is much more feasible for him since it gives him more intelligence to actually sustain his mana pool. Bottom lane.
Yep, they've caught Rabbit out. Hook shot, Ice Blast is there. He gets the relocate out though.
That was really, really well done. He timed it at the best possible moment as well. Because if he timed it a little too early, he would have got pushed back by the cogs.
Yep.
And the relocate would have been cancelled there. That was a sign of an experienced Wiz player there. Super definitely. Played a lot of Wiz during his earlier competitive days, even with Rising Star or with Wings Gaming.
Yep. Sees 430 now with Bloodstone of his own, look to take back control of the Radiant jungle. Both snowball carries, the Storm and the Leshrac with Bloodstones.
Yeah, but I guess if the game goes on like this, even, IG will be more happy since they have a tri-core lineup.
Yep.
And the Ward is going to spot out 11. See you, brother.
He's got the jump, he goes down. Ice Blast not going to matter. They can survive that one, and there we go.
He was really trying to, because if you look at their map, they don't really have much vision. He was just trying to scout out whatever he can so the other lanes can
That's where you got to throw the rocket flares. But
yep. Sometimes before you go into deep territory, it's always a good idea to actually use rocket flare first before you move in.
Disruptor, by the way, with a Midas, so we're going to see a greedier support coming out from Kaka. Lanem, unfortunately, not the same luxury for him. He's just sitting on the Observer wards for now for the team.
If both of your supports get Midas, you know, it's a good game. If you can afford that.
It's still time for him to go back from Midas on AA. But no.
Yeah, and I remember someone...
Glimpse. Whoa.
That was close. I remember someone showing me a chart before where comparing an AA going Aghanims. If you go Midas, you would always get the Aghanims at the same time and you have the extra experience and gold because you go for the Midas. So it's not good to rush Aghanims on AA. You should always get a Midas if you can.
As a support, I imagine.
Yeah, if you get it, you always end up getting the Aghanims at the same timing compared to where you don't get a Midas. So the Midas is essentially a free item. And the experience you get from it as well. So this game, he probably... I don't think you go for the Midas anymore. He probably wants to go for other utility items. Maybe
cheaper
4-star, Medallion, you know, even a Glimmer Cape or something that can actually help the team.
Well, Medallion could be nice for Roshan because they haven't got the best damage to kill
Medallion or Glimmer Cape would be nice this game. Because if you think about how they're going to start the fight, Storm jumps in. He's going to force initiation on one target. Having a Glimmer Cape or Soul Crest would be really, really good for that.
They have already got one Glimmer Cape on Leshrac, so that may lead to them going for something else. But an item you can get more than one of.
Maybe a 4-star. 4-star is also nice here against the Bristleback, against the Storm. All these items are actually very, very useful.
Oh, IG are just waiting for their BKBs. They've just picked up 2. A third is on the way for 430 as well. But it looks like they're going to go on the aggressive now before that Storm BKB comes up. Just the 2, they feel confident. They know Storm's just got that mobility.
They are still really strong now with double BKBs. Like you mentioned, most of EHOME's damage are all spell damage.
Well, trying to find that jump around mid lane. They're going to go in behind the tier 1 tower. They even remain smoked, staying far enough away from the tier 1. Scout out the Ancients. A bit of a stack there.
Oh, Gyro is going to bait maybe?
Oh, he's got a BKB. He should be fine here if he gets it off. He won't get a chance to. They're going to blow him up with the Ice Blast. Yes, they've got both. Oh, if he'd only had time to react and get off a BKB, that could have been a different fight. Meanwhile, the rest of the team are going to be like, let's get the hell out of here. Chuan, no
Glimpse,
TP.
Vision for Glimpse.
Chuan has no TP, so he's just hiding and hoping, and he's caught.
spends all his
Take
gold.
me, take my body. I didn't want to be alive anyways. I'm gonna go grab a snack. Well, EHOME with that, they can actually go into Roshan. They don't have the medallion we're talking about, but they probably feel confident after finding those kills that they can take the big bag Rosh here. Edict and Split Earth's coming out, just whatever damage EHOME can throw at it, but IG are respawning, and yeah, EHOME decide they're not doing it fast enough. It's time to back off and come back later. Clockwork's actually low on mana as well. Only has mana for a hookshot right now, which is a definite concern for EHOME should a fight break out.
He has the arcane boots
Yeah.
from the Disruptor.
He's asking for it. He dropped his blade mail and everything. He's like, dude, give me the arcanes. What's going on? So, for now, Nanyang, he's bought an item. He's just upgraded to treads, so he's just going to look to tank up a bit more. And we'll see.
It's gonna be tough, you know, for them with the double BKB right now. They only won the last fight because they weren't able to react towards the
Yeah.
BKB.
Well, and they were
Initiate.
split up as, like, there was two heroes by themselves hoping to relocate in,
Yeah.
so.
A head-on fight is difficult for EHOME now with
Yep.
all the BKBs on IG. Once they get triple BKBs, it's gonna be about how they can actually make IG use their BKBs. If they can actually drop the BKBs to 5 seconds without losing too much of the map and losing too many fights. Late game wise, I think the spellcasters will become strong again when it comes down to 5 seconds BKB, especially the Disruptor.
Well, the team fight in general for EHOME is always going to be scary. He caught out Luo here. He has got the BKB. He's going to pop it. No TP,
He doesn't have
though.
a TP.
He can break through the cogs and...
Might get glimpsed though.
Yeah. There's a
ending
relocate, though. They've got to be careful about trying to force this. Gets scouted out. Glimpse back. Here comes the TP1. Where's that relocate? It's coming in hot. Disruptor's there with the AoE silence. Rabbit's just going to BKB his way through. They've lost Bristleback, but they're going to get some kills in return. 430 goes spalling in. Wants CTY, possible Bloodstone Suicide. Have they got the detection for this? Doesn't look like it. Relocate back. They've lost the Wisp now. Rabbit alone without a BKB on the front lines. He's looking to just heal himself up. Pops the wand. Old Chicken. Has he got the damage? They've lost Storm. And they... Oh, Rabbit actually stays alive because of the Bloodstone heal, but it may not be enough. Even so, CTY, the victor of this fight in the end. Chuan hiding. Hiding.
No TP again.
I'm just hiding in some trees.
And they didn't manage to finish anyone, and the Whis he actually dusted quite late though. He dusted the Lash. If they killed the Lash there, the fight probably would have been different since the Lash came back because he didn't die and he dropped so many spells. That was really crucial for them to get that kill on the Lash. They got the dust way too late.
And this blink on Old Chicken's paying off huge as well. He was getting so many constant stuns off, just able to maneuver around the fight so well.
And it really looked like IG was gonna win that fight though, when the Storm zipped in and almost killed the Lash.
Yeah, I totally agree. I thought IG had the fight. Once they lost the Wisp because he relocated in, so he was only in the fight for 10 seconds, they lost a lot of the potential sustain that the overcharge as well as the heals from the urns as well as bottle charges provided, which was part of the problem. And also Bristle was just dead from the start, so it was a 4v5.
It was a 4v5, yeah, to be fair.
And Leshrak in a 4v5, well, he's on the 5, is going to have a great time. And we're looking at Octarine Core coming up very soon
Dire's top tower
for
is under attack.
LeBalanced Disco Pony.
Yeah, he realizes he just needs to survive in the team fights. Like against Storm, you want to get as much HP as possible, so he can't, because the Storm is going to be constantly focusing the Lash in the team fights. He's the most important hero. He deals the most damage. So Storm wants to take the Lasher out ideally first in the target, in the team fights, and his items is actually it's gonna allow him to survive and dish out damage as much as possible.
Yeah. The problem is the Storm with a BKB Bloodstone, like he survives, but he doesn't have the ability to bring Leshrak down really quickly. He needs that assistance.
Help. Yeah, he needs help from the teammates.
From
mostly.
Gyro especially. And this Gyro is actually not looking too farm right now. Rabbit, just a BKB, looks to be going back for an SMY afterwards.
He had way too many deaths earlier.
He's currently sitting on 6 deaths, so this is not a good position for him to be in. They're going on the aggressive once more, looking to pressure this tier 1 mid tower. Old Chicken may consider initiating on this. Leshrek's, it's Disruptor TPing in. Leshrek's nearby, and here we go. DK blinks in, goes in on Luo. There's the Ice Blast. Old Chicken gets initiated on backwards, but just to relocate out. Now 430 is kind of alone. It was just a small relocate. Luo's still nearby. Clockwork going to get the one kill on the Earthshaker to start things off, but trades it for his life. Old Chicken, his BKB wearing off soon. Going to be a problem. He's just going to do as much damage as he can before he dies. He knows his fate, or does he? Barely goes down to Luo. And it's the rest of the team, though, cleaning up. And we know exactly which hero is responsible for that. It's this fella here, level 17. Finds himself a bunch of kills. He's just flashing lights everywhere with that gaudy set. What is he wearing here? But CTY cleans house on the Leshrak.
Yeah, he survived thanks to his item selection as well. Excellent item choice here this game. The Glimmer Cape and the extra Soul Booster going into the Octarine Core. Definitely the right decision. Like if he went for like early boards or like a Shivers, or if he got a fake meal, he would have died that fight.
Well, Disruptor has a pre-30-minute Aghanim Scepter. What a day to be a Disruptor.
And Kaka is always so farm, you know, in the games we watch. He gets a lot of kills. That was the story as well when he was playing Rubik the other day. He had so much net worth because he got so many kills.
Well, this game, I mean, it felt like IG had the much better ability to take fights once they got those BKBs, but EHOME just survivable on their own rights. Not with BKBs, just mostly through HP. I mean, the Dragon Knight has his BKB, but it's just been good fight selection from EHOME, and we find ourselves in a position where EHOME have taken control of this game.
Yeah, I think their problem right now is they're not doing enough damage to IG. They have the triple BKBs. It's allowing them to survive the spell burst of EHOME, but they are not killing anyone during their BKB charges. That's why when they don't kill anyone, they go in with their BKBs and everyone survives on EHOME. Your BKB runs out, the Leshrak is going to kill everyone after that. Nice. And right now with the Medallion on their side, Lamb has chosen to go for a Medallion. Roche this time is going to be much easier.
Yeah, they're just spamming out their spells just to make it a little bit faster and less problematic dealing with the Roshan bashes. And no contest in sight from IG. They see heroes on the map, they know they're safe, and CTY with an Aegis, 19 Bloodstone charges, Octarine Core. All he needs is a kill or two, and even if like he's got 3 lives, he can insta respawn with the first with the Aegis, then with the Bloodstone, then he can buy Boots of Travel if he gets a kill or two, and you're in business. What a hook shot coming in, gets the cogs pushed back as well. Rabbit made BKB, but these cogs are blocking his path. TP's out, will escape, but damage has been done. The IO dead and Gyro's BKB on cooldown. We're definitely looking at this tier 2 tower bottom going down, and all 430 can do is go for some split push top, but this is not a Storm that pushes particularly fast. This Bloodstone BKB build, very defensive by nature. I think they may just go high ground here, Winter.
They're TPing a DK back.
Oh, they want to kill. 430, there's the static. That's why they're TPing back. They've got the Static Storm with an Ag Scepter, and they know they can actually kill 430.
Yeah, he can't even Bloodstone Suicide because of the Aghanim.
That's brutal. You know, it was very much like, we could go high ground, but we don't know if we'll get racks. Like, we don't know if that'll work. Let's get a Storm and a tier 2 tower. So they play it safe. They put Storm on the sidelines. They get him down to 2 Bloodstone charges. And now they can go for that push when they don't have to worry about the Rat Dota. They do have to worry about the fact they haven't got Dragon Form for a little while, but I think they'll manage that one okay, despite that. It'll be up by the time they kind of approach the Radiant base as it is.
But the good news for them is the next fight they will have Earthshaker with a Blink. I was talking about they need more damage in team fights, so with the Blink maybe it would... There's a good chance that they might be able to kill stuff with the Blink Echo. Because they were lacking a lot of damage in the previous few fights. Because their cores are not doing enough damage.
And EHOME decide they're in a rush. They still have tier 1 towers at top lane. There's a tier 2 right behind it that they can go for. So CTY going to take the freebie and just charge forward. Doesn't care about where his teammates are. He just knows there's no answer to this pony. And I don't even see IG making a defense at the tier 2 here.
I don't think there's any way they can take a fight outside of high ground. The only hope is high ground defense with the Shaker with Blink. I mean, in team fights right now, they have to they can't really focus the Lash anymore, so the Storm has to jump behind and kill the A and the Disruptor. I think that's the
Top tower has
easiest
fallen.
way. Try to get the supports out of the team fight first before moving on to the
Radiant
Lash
structures are
and the
fortified.
Dragon Knight.
It's hard. Storm has a lot of pressure on his shoulders, as well as that blink on the Earthshaker.
Dire's bottom tower
Needs to come
is
up big.
under
There's a
attack.
smoke play coming from IG, looking to get the jump to catch him by surprise. Chuan goes charging in forward. Blink in. The Echo Slam only catches one, and he gets silenced immediately afterwards. Luckily, they get out of it, because that is the Ag's upgrade. CTY gets pushed back. He's got an Aegis, though, so it doesn't even matter if he goes down. And is he even dying here? Gets dusted up. Storm balls forward. Will break the Aegis, but he's out of mana. One stun from a DK, and 430 in trouble. Has a Bloodstone Suicide. Gets relocated out. Nice play from Kaka. But this leaves the tier 3 tower exposed, and you've got to wonder, what can IG even do to defend this one? They've already used up their BKBs. Gyro going to buy out his SMY. They stun up Super on the relocate back. Great little bit of play there. Old Chicken gets forced after away. He's being chased down by Lua, who's still actually got his BKB. Lesh gets one. Lesh is just going to get a few more, I imagine. Kaka on the backline still being dealt with here. CTY hits the sun on 430. Lightning's there, and down goes Storm Spirit. Oh, Luo, the lone survivor, will be rejoined by Chuan soon, but I mean, good luck killing CTY. He's only got Clockwork with him, so he may decide to back off, but good news for IG is they didn't actually even have to use any buybacks there. Bad news is they didn't really gain a whole lot.
They got 3 kills and the A stuff, and
They
defended the Rex.
held on Winter, but it's
Yeah,
still
they held on the Rex.
it's still a zero gain. Like, the gain is 0 for them in my eyes. They lose both their
Radiant's
carries.
middle tower is under attack.
Yeah. EHOME is still very happy of the result of the fight.
I mean,
The Lash Shot didn't lose any Bloodstone charges.
yeah, and now it has a Shivers Guard, up to 24 charges.
He still has 2 lives for the next fight.
Yep.
So it's the same thing. They can just go Siege again, and he can buy bots after killing maybe 1 hero.
Well,
They just didn't get enough farm though on the core, so their 3 core lineup.
yeah. Well, especially when Storm goes for that BKB second item. We've had discussions about this in the past, like going for a BKB after Bloodstone. Yes, a lot of games you desperately need a BKB, but it really limits your offensive potential. And you want to go you want to get the Orchid so you can ball in on a Disruptor and silence him up. But something 430 maybe looking back on this game like, was BKB really the right item? You've got 2 teammates both who are BKB. Let them be the ones taking up the damage.
I think they figured they wanted the Death Ball. That's why with the BKB, it's actually going to allow them to just jump in. Because he's the main initiator in the early stages of the game. And Shaker doesn't have Blink.
Yeah.
But I guess
It was definitely the plan. It's more it didn't work that way. So
yeah, it just didn't work out for them though. If they didn't want to group up, I think he would have actually gone for the Orchid, because it was just because of how the game was going as well. They wanted to group up and fight to avoid being picked off by the clock and the A Ice Blast. It's such a potent combo. We saw them getting so many kills in this game because of that. So I guess the plan was actually just wanting to group up to not allow that to happen, but it just didn't really work out as planned.
well, he's almost got the Orchid now, so he's managed to farm up in this dire jungle and help himself out a little bit, but still a lot of work to be done on the IG side to turn this game around.
It's gonna be tough though now with the Disruptor, with the Blink and Aghanim's. He kinda is able to lock down the Gyro from the start of the fight.
And they've got the AC. That's what it looked like EHOME were waiting for. They've been farming and playing slightly slower, more passively the last minute or so, and yeah, with an AC, could see another attempt at the high ground. Even without an Aegis, it still feels like just the Leshrac having as many Bloodstone charges as he does is a good way to take that push. He can even use the Bloodstone Suicide to like heal up and save someone like the Dragon Knight if he wants to, and then just instantly TP back into the fight. There's a lot of things you can do when you have this many Bloodstone charges.
I agree, but I think he's like the main damage dealer right now though.
Yeah.
So probably not worth to even if the DK is about to die, it's probably not worth.
If you save him and he's got ulti form up, it gets him back to full HP.
Yeah.
And you're not feeding any gold if it's a suicide, so I could see it being worthwhile, but
He's just doing so much damage now himself. He's like the biggest carry here on the team.
And his boots of travel may be on cooldown as well. If he's TPing mid, so his boots of travel will be on cooldown for 30 seconds. If he doesn't want to die too fast here, because he won't have the TP available.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
This siege is gonna be really hard to stop here.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
They're falling back. It looks like they just want the outer tower. They may be just waiting out Roshan, which is...
Wait for Aegis.
Yeah.
Once they get the Aegis, I think it's just more or less secured for them to push a high ground to get at least one set of Rex.
Not too surprising to see them do this, even though we kind of speculated that they can go for a high ground push without it. It's a lot safer to take this approach.
They have everything they need though. They just need to wait for the Aegis. DK has the AC like you mentioned.
Clockwork now has an Aghanim Scepter, so... I mean, by the time they get an Aegis, CTY is going to have another item as well. That's the absurd thing.
Probably hard though, I think.
Yeah, I was about to say, I looked at him, I was like, 2.3k HP, that's decent, but imagine if you had like 3.5, 4k HP. Heart of Taras could be amazing.
You might go for hard or maybe just a Hex, you know, the standard Hex, so you can deal with the storm.
He either goes HP to just be in the front lines, sieging and doing
but
damage,
somehow I
disable.
feel going HP is just enough for him. He doesn't need to be the disable, since DK, Clockwork and Disruptor can actually handle that department, so it allows the Lash to be a more, you know, like a one position, you know, to build the heart.
It feels like the safer item to win the game with, but less flashy. It's more just brute force where you just man up and go.
As long as he doesn't die in team fights, I think it's enough for them.
Well, we talked about them waiting for Roshan, but they're grouped up as 5 at top lane. Not really scouting out the Roshan right now.
Gonna buy his Reaver, then they go push, I think, maybe.
Nope.
No.
Walks,
Going for Rosh.
walks on past.
They're gonna give him the Aegis.
Yeah, that's the other possibility. He can just go front line with Aegis. Does leave DK a little vulnerable. His BKB down to just 7 seconds, and there's the Aegis respawn. They have scouted out. Rocket Flare did that, so they'll be headed directly to the pit. All CTY needs now is the Solar Crest as well on him, and then he's just complete beast mode.
A is not far from that.
You know, we'll get some Roshan money here and be in business.
If he gets the last hit of the Roshan, he should have enough gold for that.
Yeah. It's like, team, get Roshan low for me. Probably not going to be the case. Could sell something like his Magic Wand if he really wanted to have it for the push right now, but he's actually going to get a Glimmer Cape, it looks like. Picks up Amulet. So yeah, it's going to be a Glimmer Cape for LANM. No Solar Crest. Similar idea, you can block a lot of the damage output coming from mostly the Gyrocopter, Rocket Barrage cooldown.
Storm as well. Storm and the Shaker.
Yeah.
So it's just a really good item for this situation. Even though Lash already has one, but it's still good to have. So they actually gave the Aegis to the DK, and the Lash got a Reaver. He still got a Reaver at the end.
I guess they'll wait for the heart here. Again, we keep saying, oh, okay, they'll wait for an Aegis. Oh, they'll wait for a heart. They don't particularly need to, but this is more a safety-first approach coming out from EHOME. They feel like this game's in the bag, and they want to make sure they do things right.
I mean, he can basically get, like, use up all his gold, right? Because he has the instant respawn from the stone.
Yeah, I think that's probably the play. Unless he wants to have 3 lives where he has the instant respawn and then a buyback, but I feel like by that point, if you need a 3rd life, you've probably lost the fight and you don't want to buy back. You'd rather just wait to respawn.
How many lives does he even need, you know? 2 lives is already so hard to take down. Because you imagine the
one
first
is enough,
life.
Winter.
Yeah, they need to BKB and kill the first life, and he respawns, travels in, and they don't have BKB. How are they going to kill him the second time?
Well, he's not waiting for the Heart of Taras, just the Reaver for now. And forward we go. CTY just clearing out some trees to make sure no shenanigans going for IG.
Casual mech at base for Kaka as well. He wants to get the grease against the silence.
430. In the front lines, the Glimmer Cape is there, and Old Chicken blocking a decent amount of damage to that CTY. A little bit reluctant to just go charging forward. So yeah, and we'll see the Greaves coming up for Disruptor, as you mentioned. Lincoln, no, Sun immediately. Rabbit then gets caught on. He gets stuck in the silence as well. He can't BKB during this. Old Chicken trying to bring him down to the side. It's 430. Trying to be dealt with. Gyro will buy back still as BKB available to go balling in. It's going to be Luo in the front line doing a lot of damage. Blink Echo from Chuan. Not bad, but he's taking heavy return fire in CTY. We asked how many lives he's going to need. It looks like he may need more than one. He's getting low here. Going to be brought down once. Yes, he is. That's a lot of gold going the way of Gyro. 1,200 gold. It did cost him a Gyro buyback. Storm goes down now. Bristle going to buy back as well. Left. Where is he? He's TP'd right back in. Will hit the stun on the Gyro, and this is going to be a dieback for Rabbit if he's not careful. The Glimmer Cape maybe going to save his life here. CTY just standing still and doing all kinds of absurd damage. Has that Shiver's Guard once again available. He just needs to hit the stun on somebody. Can he do it? Lightning Storm available. Looks to set up the stun. The stun to follow. Luo goes down. Dieback for Luo. Luckily, the Storm's still alive for now, though. Shivers will slow him down. He's got a little bit of mana. Gets hit by the stun, even on the ball out. They save the Gyro, but they lose both Bristle and Storm in dieback fashion. With that, I think this game is well and truly in the bag for EHOME. They've still got 20 charges on CTY. He'll find himself met by a rocket barrage, and Rabbit will BKB up, look to fight him. Glimmer Cape is there, gets dusted, needs to be careful. CTY. Maybe in over his head, or is he? He's going to turn and fight. Life stealing with the Octarine Core. CTY just beast moding. Oh, almost walked into that Ice Blast. Does CTY go back in? Satanic? Oh, that's something different.
Oh wow. Okay.
Rather than like the slow heart regen, he wants the insta regen. This is the first ever Satanic purchase in competitive Dota, I'm willing to say. Well then, back to full HP we go. The amount of lifesteal on this Leshrac is actually absurd. And he right clicks for about 200 damage.
More armor as well.
Yes. We see Rabbit in the front lines. BKB up. That's on a very long BKB. There's the Cogs push as well as the slow from the DK. Gets saved by the IO. Now's the time IG make their last fight. Both Storm and Bristle respawning soon. And they've got to come up big here. Here comes 430, balling in, grabs old chicken. The Aegis has already been dealt with. He's got a BKB if he needs it. The Fisher's there as well. Thunderstorm doing good work here. You can't BKB out of that one. 430 gets hit by the Cogs push. 11 making plays on the clockwork, and it's CTY catching out the back lines. 3 dead. IG, they tap out, and it's EHOME showing just what a Leshrac can do. As if you hadn't seen it enough, you get one more show here in 6.84. Probably only about a day left of Leshrac Dota, but we get one last appearance. CTY, whew, making plays, and EHOME get themselves a 2-1 lead here in this best of 5 winter.
Yeah, I think the main problem in this game was, again, what I mentioned. The cores were just not farm enough though. The Gyro, especially the Gyro and the Bristle, both of them. The Storm was decent. He was okay. He was doing okay on network. It was just both of them were not farm enough this game. The Bristle got into a hard lane. Can't really blame him because they're running triple core. It's very hard for him to get space as a position 3. But the Gyro really needed to be doing much more work this game for them to actually win the earlier fights, because the Storm alone couldn't do enough. The one at the jungle fight, I think that was the most key fight in the whole game. Allowed EHOME to take control of the whole fight, where the Storm, they killed the Bristle to start the fight, and they glimpsed the Storm back when the Storm TP'd with a double damage to help the Bristle. So that was the key fight that actually turned the whole game's balance towards EHOME.
Similar place to last game. Last game was the 3 kills where the Witch Doctor Death Ward. This time around.
Oh yeah, it's again, it's also in the jungle. You know, in IG's jungle, it was basically the same type of play.
Just fighting for map control and kind of Roshan control as well, because I think IG know it. If they just give up too much ground, then EHOME just take Roche too easily. Well, that's a 2-1 lead for EHOME. They 3-1'd IG yesterday in the ESL 1 Grand Finals to qualify for ESL 1 New York. We're going to see if they can do the same here, or if we're going to have a Game 5. It's the Nanyang Championships. China qualifies, the Grand Finals. I'm joined by Winter, I'm Gods, and we're going to take a break. We'll come back and bring you guys Game 4.